My power strip isn't working right now.
Huh.
Hey,
Get it figured out?
got it working.
Huh. Welcome to View from the Top of the Goalpost. I am your host, Diesel. And as always, I am joined by Chad. Doesn't have a little festive like thing in his name anymore, but I'm joined by Chad. And yeah, how are you doing?
Festive names are for winners, and I haven't been a winner in a long time, so I don't have anything fun to put in there. It's
I
just
mean,
Shad.
you were catching up to me
Yeah.
until last week. You kind of fell off a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, might as well get into that. Last week, we had three games differently, and Chad got none of them right. Um, Two of them were the games that I just went with my gut. I said, I don't know why. I just feel like these games are going to go this way, and my gut was right. And so that last week, I went 10-4, and Chad went 7-7. And it brings us to season total. I am 98-54, which is not too bad. And Chad is
Not at all.
79-73. At least you're above 500 still. I
Hey,
mean,
could be
could be
worse.
worse. It definitely could be worse. But yeah, this is not your year.
No, in no regard has it been my year. Besides, my gambling picks have been decent.
I did not play underdog this past weekend because man, I'm having a rough year with underdog. Last year I was doing pretty decent, but this year it's like I even switched up my tactics and only been going like for three players a bet. And I always get two, and I always get the one wrong. And I'll have multiple bets, and it'll go that way for every one of them. So if I could just get the winners in the same bet, that'd be great. That just doesn't work out for me that way. But how were your locks this past week?
Well, this last week it was a lot like my picks because I went 6, 7, and 1 overall. With let's see, we'll just run through everything. The over hit in the Cincinnati Baltimore game, obviously. The Deutschmark hit because the under in the New York Giants and Carolina game hit. The New England Chicago game did not hit the over because no touchdowns were scored. Could have hit the over very easily. Buffalo did cover for the silver lock. The gold lock did once again hit, with Minnesota barely covering -4.5 in one of the most boring games of all time. The Denver Kansas City over did not hit because that was another just absolute slog of a game, boring to watch. We'll talk about that later. The Raptor lock did not hit because Atlanta just shit the bed. And I mean that very, very literally, especially with the Saints coach comments. The bronze lock did not hit because San Francisco did not cover 6 points against the Kakaroch. The need to win lock did not hit because Washington lost to Pittsburgh. We'll get to it. We'll talk about it. The LA Chargers, however, did cover the -7.5 points. The Emerald Lock, which is a curse, did not hit again, and the New York Jets lost in very crushing fashion. Philadelphia did cover their -7. The Fantasy Fun Lock was the one that just equaled itself out. I can't think of the word right now. Pushed. There we go. There's the word. I haven't had to say it in a while. It's only the second push of the year, I feel like, because 49 was the over and it hit 49 exactly with that last second field goal. And then the final lock, the LA Rams did not cover because they lost to the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football, which means that at this point, my bonus locks are 27, 25, and 1. The last chance slash need to win locks are 4 and 3. The Heart Lock is 3-3-1 because there wasn't one last week, but there is one this week. The Suck It Carolina Lock was not one last week, so still 5-3. Cat Scratch Fever Lock, there wasn't one last week, so still 1-1. The Fantasy Fun Lock is now 0-1-1. The Raptor Lock is 6-4. The Emerald Lock is 3-6. The Bronze Lock is 5-5. The Silver Lock is 6-4. But once again, granddaddy of them all, my most confident pick every single week is 8-2 on the year. So still, once again, if you're betting with me, you're still making money. So keep holding true, folks. I promise. Greener grass is ahead.
I was looking at the games and trying to figure out which game is your Heart Lock. And I think I have a guess, but we'll get to it. This week, I know who it's not going to be, though. It's not going to be the Cardinals, Panthers, Giants, or Buccaneers because they are all on bye. So,
what a segue.
A big round of applause.
So let's get into some picks. So starting off with Thursday Night Football. We got another good Thursday night game, I think. It is the 7-3 Washington Commanders traveling to the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles, playing for first place in the division. I like it. Who would have guessed, though, like when they made the schedule, that's what this game would be? They probably we're going to put the most shitty games that we can on Thursday Night Football, and then we actually get a good one. The Eagles are favored by 3.5 with a 48.5 point over under, and the fan differential is on Philadelphia at 71%, which I think fans, you're morons, because I don't think Philadelphia is that good. I mean, they're good. Okay, I'll give them that. They're good, but I don't think they're that
Okay, all right.
They got talent. They have a moron for a coach, and I don't know, Washington just I really like watching them play. Like that defense, Dan Quinn has really made those defense a monster. And then with Jaden Daniels going to be Rookie of the Year this year, just lighting it up. He's made Terry McLaurin relevant again.
McLaurin.
Yeah, I like Washington. What?
It's McLaurin.
I want to call him McLaren, okay? Like the car. I just call him Scary Terry. And
Smart.
then, yeah, I like Washington a lot. I think that Philadelphia has more flaws than Washington, which is kind of odd to say. And I think people are picking Philadelphia because they're morons. Sorry if you're one of those people that pick them, but maybe you're not a moron, but the rest of the people that picked them are morons. But yeah, I kind of walked myself into that one. That was probably dumb to say. I'm going Washington, and I want to hear why Chad is going Washington as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If this was a situation where I made my picks, and the second that we were doing the show, I might pick Philadelphia in this game just to do something different and maybe try and make up some ground. But honestly and truthfully, I believe in the commies just as much as Diesel does. But I do believe that this game is going to be a shootout because neither of these defenses are really great. They're both solid in the red zone, but they give up a lot of yardage between the 20s, and both are very susceptible to big plays. And for that reason, this is the fantasy fun lock of the week. But instead of it going on the over, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, 3.5 points, I get a hook in an NFC East game. All NFC East games are determined by one score by 3 points if they're actually good teams. So give me the Washington Commies in this game with the fantasy fun lock, and also get as many players as you can in this game going, because I think we have another big shootout on Thursday Night Football, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, I don't think that either team can play enough defense to really stop the other team. And I 1,000% believe more in Jaden Daniels, the rookie, than I do Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, because I'm sorry, if the top of the tree is rotten, it just bleeds down. And I just can't believe in Nick Sirianni. And I love me some Dan Quinn. All right. It is what it is. I might be idiotic and I might be wrong, but I'm taking Washington in this game. And it's the fantasy fun lock of the game, or fantasy fun lock of the week.
Cowboys should have fired Mike McCarthy 2 years ago and promoted Dan Quinn. That's a fact.
Not even a hot take. That's a fact.
Moving on to the next game. First game on Sunday at noon. It is in the black and blue division. It is the 6-3 Green Bay mother-loving Packers traveling to the 4-5 Chicago Bears. The Packers are favored by 5.5 with a 40.5 point over-under, and 93% of the fan differential is on Green Bay. Who do you got?
I'm actually shocked that you put this game in the second slot. I've been written down in the second slot because that's where it's listed on the schedule. But
I go in order with the games that I don't pick.
I just assumed you might push it lower on the card because it is your team.
Favoritism, okay?
Fair. I am obviously going with the team coming off of their bye, the team that I also picked to win the NFC North way back when we did our predictions to begin the year.
Still could happen.
I am taking the Green Bay mother-loving Packers to win this game, and with the need to win lock of the week. Eat those points, because folks, have you seen what the pundits in the national media are now talking about the Packers? The Packers are rated the same as the Arizona Cardinals as their chances to make the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. And folks, don't get me wrong. You know how big a Arizona Cardinal fan I have been all year. But to be rated as the same category as the Arizona Cardinals, who are the biggest dark horse right now in the NFL, is insanity. The Packers need to make a statement in this game against a reeling Chicago Bears team who just got their doors blown off by the New England Patriots at home, okay? I'm a Patriots fan, folks. I love me some Drake May. He's starting to steal my heart. I might be becoming a May boy, all right? I'm starting to love the guy. But it was still embarrassing, that loss by the Chicago Bears. You couldn't do anything. You gave up 9 sacks against this Patriots defense, who also traded away basically one of our best pass rushers in Uche. The Bears are reeling. The Packers are coming off their bye. This is a need to win statement game in Chicago. The Packers better come out here and blow the fucking doors off of the Chicago Bears. And if they don't, then I am going to start having some questions about the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. And I'm sorry, it's just the way it is.
Well, Packers have, at least as of today, Wednesday, as of recording, had all 53 members of the roster were practicing with no injury designations on anybody. They're healthy. That includes Jordan Love. They're healthy. The Bears, on the other hand, are not. They have a lot of injury designations for this week, and one of them is Montez Sweat, and he's might not be their best defensive player, but he's top 3 on their team. The Patriots defense is good, but the Packers defense is better. And they gave up 9 sacks to the Patriots. And I think this game is going to be different because it's Packers-Bears. The Bears haven't scored a touchdown in the last 2 games. I don't think that's going to be the case this game, just because the way it works. But the Bears aren't good. And Bears fans, they've been waiting for this game because they think that it's finally time that they're going to beat the Packers when they haven't beat them in, I think it's been 10 in a row now. Matt LaFleur has never lost to the Bears since being head coach of the Packers. I just don't think the Bears are good. Like you said, the Packers are coming off their bye. And it scares me that everybody is so confident on the Packers because that's when the Packers lose. But I just don't think the Bears are good. Bears just fired their offensive coordinator. He only made it 10 games. He made it 9 games. Shane Waldron.
The wrong guy still. Head coach should have been the one fired, but
they are idiots. They interviewed Cliff Kingsbury in the offseason, who was Williams' offensive coordinator at USC, and they go, no, we don't want you. Knowing that they were going to draft Caleb Williams, they gave Caleb Williams the playbook at the Combine. Why do you think Caleb Williams didn't do anything at the Combine? Everybody knew he was going to the Bears. They fumbled this, and the Packers are going to win. They're better. They're just better. I mean, Swift might get some yards, and I'm okay with that because I have my fantasy. But other than that, Packers win. I think the Packers will win by 2 scores.
They should. And if they don't, I'm going to have some questions.
Next game at noon, the 2-7 Cleveland Browns traveling to the 3-7 New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 1 with a 44.5 point over-under. 71% are on New Orleans, and I do not like picking this game because both these teams suck.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
But I'm going with New Orleans because they played good last week. Even though Cleveland's coming off their bye, and Jameis Winston was with the Saints not that long ago, last year. New Orleans is better. I mean, they beat a good team last week, and I know that it was a division game, but Atlanta's a good team. So, I mean, you can't take that away from them. And maybe that'll give them a little bit of confidence, and they'll beat up on a team that isn't so good. So, I got New Orleans.
In our first difference of the week, give me the Cleveland shits because, legitimately, this is a coin flip game. I am completely taking this game because I said it last week on the podcast that felt like a classic NFC South trap game. And I don't think the Saints as much won that game as Atlanta lost that game. Atlanta, I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the Saints played poorly or anything like that, but Atlanta had every opportunity to win that game. And if one of the best kickers in the NFL just makes his normal kicks like he normally does, the Saints are ahead in that game by 6. I mean, he missed 3 field goals in that game. That's a 9-point swing. We're not talking about Atlanta right now, though. Cleveland's coming off their bye. Jameis Winston is a roller coaster of a quarterback. But the man who I want to talk about, who has a little more time off, those legs are getting a little fresher, it's our boy, Shubba-lubba-dub-dub. Nick Chubb is going to run up and down the field on the New Orleans Saints, and I don't know. Once again, I think this is a coin flip game. This is a bonus lock, I guess, to take Cleveland in the game. I don't know. You're getting a point. Truthfully, I'm staying the hell away from this game because it just seems like a bad game to watch, and it's going to be boring as hell. But I'm going to take Cleveland. I don't know.
Okay, well, the next game. I'm wondering if this is the game with your heart lock. It is the 4-6 Indianapolis Colts traveling to the 3-7 New York Jets. The Jets are favored by 4 with a 43.5 point over under. Fan differential is 62%. Is this your heart lock or no?
How do you know me so well?
Because I looked at the schedule and I'm just thinking, like, what team would you put it on? But the thing is, I'm not sure who you're going with in this game. I could see you putting it on either one of them.
My heart lock on this game, and I'm taking the money line on it, and it is on the Anthony Richardson led Indianapolis Colts. Because by God, I'm sorry. This is 1,000% my heart. I was all in on Anthony Richardson before the season started. I didn't love that he got benched. I hoped Joe Flacco would be the answer to help the Colts go through, but he has, my God, been the absolute detriment to this team. He has been the reason they have lost these past couple games with just turnover after turnover after turnover. So if that's the case, it's let Anthony Richardson at least learn on the job. And the Jets are bad. The Jets are really, really bad. Oh my God. That's the biggest piece of humble pie that I have to eat for the entire offseason of trash talking is how high I was on this Jets team. And I'm sorry, folks. It's just a miss. It's a miss on my part. And I feel dumb. I truly feel dumb for picking the Jets as highly as I did. So yes, my heart lock is on the Indianapolis Colts. You can take the +4, but I'll be taking the money line because I'm also picking them to win the game outright.
Yeah, I didn't think the Jets were going to be this bad. And I don't know. I had I wanted to slow the roll. I wanted to see them play. And at the beginning of the season, week 1, they looked decent, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll be okay. But no, they are bad. They shouldn't have fired their head coach. He wasn't the issue. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is not doing good. They're not calling the right plays. They traded for Devontae Adams. Having
dropping
that baby
touchdown
to
passes.
save the relationship isn't working out too well for them, like the way it normally goes. But that being said, I am picking them this week because they are a weird team. And I just, with them being at home, I could see them with this game going their way. Because you never know what you're going to get with Anthony Richardson because he's a wild card.
Cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
Wild card.
So, I don't know. The Jets season is all but done. Like, they need to string together a bunch of wins in a row to, save their season. And I've seen Aaron Rodgers do it before. I've seen Aaron Rodgers come back from the dead. And, 5 times I've seen him do it. Not even joking. So I wouldn't put it past them. This is more of... Because I kind of feel like this one's kind of a coin flip game as well. Because I could easily see Indianapolis going in there because the Jets have been playing really bad. But yeah, I'm just going with taking analytics out of it once again. Go with the Jets. Next game at noon, we see the 2-8 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the 8-1 Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 13 with a 47 point over-under. 99% of the fan differentials on the Lions. There's a piece of me that really wants to take Jacksonville in this game because I could just see them being the spoiler. I don't know why. The only reason, if it was in Jacksonville, maybe I'd do it. Detroit does not lose at home unless it's to the Packers. because that's going to happen in a couple weeks here when they play each other on Thursday Night Football. But this week, Detroit is not going to lose at home. They probably are going to embarrass Jacksonville, kind of like they did the Titans. And we might see coach fired after this week, because I think that if they do embarrass Jacksonville like they did the Titans, I think Doug Peterson's losing his job. I got Detroit. I don't even really need to discuss why. I think you know.
Yeah. This is 1,000% the silver lock of the week. And what I'm about to say sickens and disgusts me, because this is so many points. But I don't care, because it's in the Silver Dome, and Jesus, they're gonna be mad after how that last game played off against Houston. This is another situation just like when Baltimore played against Denver, where I think that, Jacksonville, you're coming up against a angry buzzsaw, and they are going to make you look stupid. And you have Mac Chucklefuck Jones as your quarterback going into this game. Oh, you're fucked. So yeah, silver lock of the week. I will be eating those 13 and a half points. When I wrote it down, it was at 14. I don't care. I truly don't. I think they win this game by 24 points. This game might be over in the second quarter. Like, I don't. This is going to be bad. Yeah, this is a bad situation. So, yeah, give me Detroit. Silver lock of the week. Sorry, Jacksonville. And Doug Peterson, I don't know how you fell from grace so quickly. You won a Super Bowl, and you then can't coach a football game anymore. So, I don't know.
Another one bites the dust.
I am looking at the next game and realize I did not update the records. So I don't know what the records are off the top of my head. But the next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. The Raiders are 2-7, I believe. And the Dolphins are 3-6.
Sounds right.
That's off the top of my head. I don't know why I didn't update the records like an idiot, but that happens sometimes. But I did get this part. Miami is favored by 7 with a 44.5 point over under, and 93% of the fan differential is on Miami. What do you got in this game?
Yeah. I once again, I told everyone multiple times in this podcast, I would not be picking the Las Vegas Raiders the rest of the year. I believe in them completely, none at all. Give me Miami in this game. Bonus lock, I'll be eating those 7 points. Folks, I mean, the Raiders are an absolute dumpster fire, and the Miami Dolphins, while coming off a short week, actually showed some fight this past week on Monday night. They made the Sean McVay-led offense look ridiculous and infuriated the hell out of me. Like, it was a bad game for the Rams, and I mean, I got to give Miami their flowers where they deserve it. So give me them in this game, and bonus lock, I will be eating those 7 points.
Yeah, they did it on the road, but the only thing is McVay and McDaniels are friends. So, like, they know each other, so I can see how it worked out the way it did. Doesn't mean the Rams are a bad team, but Miami was looking like they were the last couple seasons. Tua looked good. Tyreek Hill got a touchdown, first one since week 1. And that running attack was looking the best it's looked in weeks. I mean, they're both good running backs, but so I don't know. Maybe I doubt it, but it's possible. Miami could play spoiler, sneak in there. I mean, we got 7 teams on each side now, so who knows? Who knows? Season's not over yet. And if you think it is, then you are probably Dallas Cowboys. Our next game at noon on Sunday sees a rematch of Super Bowl 36 and Super Bowl 53. That is the 4-5 Rams traveling to the 3-7 New England Patriots. The Rams are favored by 4.5 with a 43.5 point over under. 69% of the fans are with the Rams. Nice.
Nice.
And another fun fact, this is one of 2 Super Bowl rematches that we have this week. Yeah, I did the math on this one. I have the Rams in this game. I liked the way the Patriots played last week, but I just think they're going to be outcoached. Like, I think McVay is going to be able to run laps around the Patriots in their defense. Even though I do think the Patriots have a good defense, McVay is smart, and I feel like he was outsmarted on Monday Night Football. And yeah, I don't think he's going to let that happen again. I got the Rams in this game.
Yep. I wish I could pick the Patriots. I know they don't need the number 1 overall draft pick next year anymore. I am once again very much becoming a May believer. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
I'm very excited. So whatever, we can just keep rolling with that. And whatever draft pick we get is gonna be good. But in this game, I don't think the Patriots win. I'm gonna go with the Rams, but with a bonus lock, I will be taking the over in this game because the Rams are coming off of a short week. And hey, Drake May might not be playing with a lot, but he's finding ways to make things work. And, a couple of those drop passes aren't drop passes. And that Chicago game looks a lot more lopsided than it did because, they put up a shit ton of field goals in that game, and a couple of those could have been touchdowns. And I think a lot of points are scored in this game. So give me the over of 43.5. But unfortunately, I will also be taking the LA Rams to win this game. And they need this game really badly after losing to the Miami Dolphins to hold together their playoff aspirations.
Next at noon on Sunday, we have the 7-3 Baltimore Ravens traveling to the 7-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are favored by 3 with a 48.5 point over under, and 71% of the fan differential is on Baltimore. Who do you got in this beefy matchup?
Well, I think for only the second time ever this year, with the Raptor lock of the week, I am going with the Baltimore Ravens in this game. Boys and girls, I know a lot of screwy shit happens in these matchups, and that is exactly why I am taking Baltimore in this game, because I think Baltimore has had this game circled so hard on their calendar that they've scratched it out, especially after the way they lost these games last year and let Pittsburgh stay in and make it to the playoffs. I know it didn't end up hurting them in any way, but to let a division rival make the playoffs because of the screwy effing ways they beat you, just had to stick in the craw of Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh. And now with D. Henry back there, I know Pittsburgh's been playing pretty well, but once again, they didn't deserve to win this last week. I'm not saying they lose that game, but there is definitely a lot more potential that they should have had more chances to lose that game last week. And the refs definitely handed them that game at the end of the game with that very bad spot with Zach Ertz's catch. Baltimore is a class above Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is a very good team. Baltimore is a tier 1 Super Bowl contender. I think Pittsburgh is that next tier down. So Raptor lock of the week. I'll be eating the 3 points. Diesel, do you have the balls in you? Are you going with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
These 2 teams are 2 of my favorite teams in 2024 this season. This is definitely my game of the week and the game that I am most excited for. But I am also going with Baltimore in this game. There is part of me that wants to take Pittsburgh for this reason alone, and that is in the three division games that Baltimore have played in so far, they barely were able to beat Cincinnati in both of the games, and they lost to the Browns. So with it being a division game, I feel like the 3-point spread is perfect because I do believe that this game is going to be won by a field goal, and both of them have good kickers. I'm going with Baltimore because they have Derrick Henry and they have Lamar Jackson. And that is better than Russell Wilson and Najee Harris and
Najee
Warren,
might not play.
all combined. What?
And Najee might not play.
I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. I gotta take him out of my lineup. But yeah, still, even though we are watching George Pickens become elite in front of our eyes, which is awesome, and Mike Williams scoring the game-winning touchdown and throwing it in Aaron Rodgers' face was also pretty cool.
Right down the red line, baby.
Man, this game is going to be awesome. I can't wait for this game. This is going to be the game of the week. But yes, I do got Baltimore because they got the MVP and they got the Offensive Player of the Year. So, yeah. But you know who really wants to win this game more than anybody, I bet? Patrick Queen. He wants to be like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, they're talking a lot of shit too, as well.
Yeah.
It's not been good. So I think that there's a lot of bulletin board material.
It's going to be a good one. It's definitely going to be a good one, and I'm excited that this is 1 of 2.
Yeah, exactly. It's first matchup of the year at week 11. It's wild.
So yes, that's going to be a good one. Moving on to our last noon game, which should be a 3:00 game. For the love of God, you added an extra noon game from last week because there's no early game. Why do we only have 3 late games? This is bullshit.
This is bullshit.
This game is the 7-2 Minnesota Vikings, who should have lost to Jacksonville because they played like shit, but they didn't. Facing off against the 2-7 Tennessee Titans. Minnesota is favored by 6, which they should be favored by a lot more, but they almost lost to Jacksonville, so they're not. And the 39.5 point over under, but 97 of the fan differential is on Minnesota, and so am I because they're playing Tennessee, and Tennessee sucks. And Minnesota has Justin Jefferson, who has the most yards like ever through 5 seasons, and he's really good. This just in. But Sam Darnold he's the pumpkin, like I thought he would be. And that's why I've been saying they're fool's gold, is because they got a quarterback.
He sucks.
And like this season kind of reminds me of the year they had Case Keenum, which I don't like because they went to the NFC Championship, even though they should have lost to the Saints. But Moron tried to go for the pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like that. It reminds me of that season. But I got Minnesota in this game because Tennessee sucks, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Tennessee not win another single game all year.
Yeah, nope. I have Minnesota in this game. Bonus lock. I will be eating those 6 points. And folks, I'm sorry. Tennessee's going to get rocked in this game because I am not playing against them in fantasy football. Because last week I played against Calvin Ridley in 3 out of my 4 fantasy leagues. And I also started the San Diego, or I still do it, the LA Chargers defense against them. So it's the only reason that Will Levis didn't throw an interception. That streak won't continue this week. Minnesota will probably have like 3 pick 6 in this game. And yeah, Tennessee sucks dick. Calvin Ridley is not going to get garbage time touchdowns because I'm not playing him. So yeah, I have a bonus lock on Minnesota, and I really don't want to talk about this game that much. So boom.
3:05 on Sunday. We see our second Super Bowl rematch. It's a Super Bowl 33 rematch of the 6-4 Atlanta Falcons traveling to the 5-5 Denver Broncos. The Broncos are favored by 2.5 with a 44-point over-under, but the fan differential is on Atlanta at 57%. Who do you got in this game? I already know, but tell me why.
Well, folks, this is the time to put my money where my mouth is. And even after that ridiculous loss last week, this is the golden lock of the week. Give me the Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the money line on the Falcons, obviously. I'm taking them outright. If you want to take the points, whatever. Do what you got to do. But it was a division game, folks. It was a absolute 1,000% trap game where everything broke wrong for the Atlanta Falcons. One of the most consistent kickers in the NFL came up absolute dog shit. I mean, he missed 3 kicks, and I know one of them was beyond 50, but the other 2 were absolute automatic ones for Younghoe Koo. There were drop passes. Yeah, there was a lot of things that didn't make sense last week. This week, I know it's on the road. I don't care. I don't believe in Denver at all. I know this defense of Denver is solid, and they just almost beat Kansas City, but the way that they lost to Kansas City, that's one of those games that can absolutely shatter a team's psyche. And I don't know. I think that this defense isn't going to play nearly as well going forward because that loss is going to hurt. That's one that you're not going to get over for a while. You had the defending Super Bowl champs, your division rivals, on the ropes. You're about to beat them with no time remaining on the clock, and they block a chip shot field goal. I mean, I don't know how that doesn't stick with you. I know these guys are professionals, but yeah, I have Atlanta all day and golden lock of the week. Money line, Atlanta all day. Let's go Falcons.
I don't know, Chad. The Broncos are only 5 games out of first place. I mean,
there's still a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
And that's why I'm going with Denver. I am going with Denver because just a gut decision again. Like, I don't want to. I don't. But I just have a feeling that I just have a feeling for some reason this is going to be a lower scoring game. I don't know if it's because there's going to be turnovers on the Atlanta side. I don't know what it is, but just what my gut is telling me, and I'm going with Denver. That's all I got to say about that.
I really hope you're wrong. I need some points. My fantasy playoff chances are next to nil in every one of my leagues, and I need some points out of this game.
If I were wrong, I would be happy about that because I have Mooney in both my fantasy leagues, and I have Pitts in one of them too. So yeah, I'd be okay if they scored some points.
Well, stop putting so much bad juju out there, you son of a bitch.
Well, maybe it's reverse psychology.
Hope so.
Know. Next game on Sunday at 3:05, we see the 4-5 Seattle Seahawks traveling to the 5-4 San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are favored by 6.5 with a 48 over/under. 93% of the fan differential is on San Francisco. And as am I. And I know Seattle's coming off their bye. It's another team I'm picking off their bye. But CMC is getting his sea legs under him. And he did not look bad when he played. He didn't look like last year's CMC, but like he was moving around. He still got his speed. Like
still got those hands, baby.
He's going to do better this week. I'm expecting DK to play. Especially with having the bye. I haven't looked at his status yet. I hope he plays because I also have him in fantasy. But I feel like 48 over/under is. I would go with the over because these teams like to score points. And it's crazy that oh man, I can't think of his name right now. Quarterback for the Seahawks,
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. It's crazy that at least before the bye, he was leading the NFL in passing yards, which is just nuts. The second half of his career, he was labeled a bust. That's the hardest label to shake. And you know what? I think that we can confidently say that he shook that label. He is not a bust. He deserves to be the starting quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. He's earned it. He's played his ass off the last 3 years, and he might not be an MVP, but like he deserves to be a starter in this league. And it makes me happy for him. But he's losing on Sunday to San Francisco. Sorry about your damn luck. Who do you got?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think San Francisco wins this game. But in an odd, something I don't do a lot of, with the Emerald Lock of the week, I will be taking the Seattle Sea Chickens plus 6.5. Because, yeah, I think this game, 6.5 is a lot for a division game, especially with the team coming off their bye, where Seattle doesn't have to travel that far to San Francisco. It's not like it's a long trip. This is a division game. They know San Francisco very well, and San Francisco still is. I know they're getting healthier, but they are still dinged up as fuck. I mean, it's not like San Fran is like shooting 100% right now, and Seattle is going to be the healthiest they've been in a long time. So while I think Seattle loses this game, I do think that they hold it closer than 6.5 points. So Emerald Lock of the week, I will be taking those 6.5 points, but I'll be taking San Francisco to win this game.
Moving on to the last game of the afternoon, we see a rematch of maybe the greatest playoff game ever played. The 8-2 the 9-0 Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the
6-3 Kansas City Chiefs.
I just mixed them up, okay? Then okay.
So let me try that again.
The 9-0 Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the 8-2 Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is favored by 2 with a 46-point over-under, and 60% of the fan differential is on Buffalo. Who do you got?
I have to assume this is when you are going to start picking against Kansas City, because you're about to say, folks, I haven't got a Kansas City game wrong yet this year.
I haven't.
Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, but...
Okay, then.
I'm taking Kansas City in this mother flipping game because Kansas City, I know that Josh Allen is 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, but I don't know. There's something annoyingly frustrating about this Kansas City team this year, and I'm sick of being on the wrong side of it.
Finally seeing what I'm seeing.
I'm just frustrated as fuck, and I saw what you saw a while ago, and I just couldn't accept it. So now I finally guess I've accepted what I've seen for a bit. And yeah, I'm taking Kansas City in this game. I can't believe they're getting points. I know that it's in Buffalo, but are we serious here? We're giving them points. It seems stupid. It seems stupid, and I'm just annoyed. I'm so annoyed that there's only 3 games on during the afternoon slate. So this is all the red zone's going to be on the whole time. It's like, even if I'm not going to turn this game on, my normal, like just main TV, this is all red zone's going to show anyways. So like, just boo the schedule maker. Boo.
To be fair, though, the 3 games that are on aren't bad, man.
No.
So
I like all 3 of the games, but I need at least one
better
more.
than last week with the 3 games that we got where we're all blowouts. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Knock on wood.
But Chad is right. I have not gotten the Kansas City game wrong yet this year. And he's also right. I'm going with Buffalo. This is the week.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this week for about like 6 or 7 weeks. And like I knew that they played Buffalo, and I knew that this is the week because Buffalo plays them better in the regular season, but when they play in the postseason, Buffalo can't win. Buffalo can't win that big game, but they like to flex their muscles during the regular season, and they're at home. And I mean, Kansas City is so flawed. They should have lost like 3 games by now.
At least.
And this is the week. But it might make the beast even stronger if they lose. So, yeah. Should be a good game. So, it's not the game of the week, though, because that's Baltimore-Pittsburgh, but it should be a good game. But yeah, I got Buffalo.
Yeah, I would take as game of the week. I would take that, or I like the Sunday night matchup that we're about to talk about, and the Thursday night matchup as well. I think are also, in a lot of ways, I think more exciting than this. I think this Kansas City Buffalo game is going to be underwhelming. It's going to be boring.
Yeah, I feel you. I could see them not scoring very many points too.
And I hope I'm wrong, folks. So if I'm totally wrong and it's a shootout for the ages, great. I'm excited.
It doesn't matter because Sunday Night Football, we will be seeing points, I'm predicting, because we have the 4-6 Cincinnati Bengals facing off against the 6-3 Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are favored by 1.5 with a 48-point over-under, but 63% of the fan differential is on Cincinnati. And see, Cincinnati has this offense. It's explosive. It quite possibly could be the best offense in the entire league, but their defense is so bad. Like it's like the 2006 Colts. Like that offense was so good that it won them a Super Bowl. And somehow that defense just held together long enough for Peyton Manning just to win him a Super Bowl.
But score 35 points a game.
Joe Burrow isn't Peyton Manning, but he played like it on Thursday Night Football last week. I am obviously going with Cincinnati, but I am also doing that because I know that you're going with the Chargers, and I just do not accept the fact that, how do I put this? You're so into the Chargers, it makes me like hate them.
Yeah.
Let the hate flow through you.
So there's always a team. Every year there's always a team that you make me hate. I don't know why, but this year it's the Chargers. And I do like Cincinnati, and I think this game is going to be a shootout, and I think there's going to be a lot of points scored because, Cincinnati can't stop Malik, but I don't know, sometimes the Chargers just they don't play very good on defense either. So I think also it's under the lights, Sunday Night Football. I think it's going to be an offensive game. That's all I got to say. I'll pick the Chargers.
With the bronze lock of the week, I will be taking the LA Superchargers. I will be eating that minus 1.5 points. Diesel likes to malign this Chargers defense. They are top 5 in all categories across the board.
Sometimes they don't play good. I didn't say they were bad. Just putting that out there.
Diesel likes to malign Justin Herbert, who has been playing with a body that is hurt every single part of every single week. The man is finally healthy, and he is top 5 in the NFL for quarterback rating. This offensive line of the Chargers is wrecking people. Diesel and I both hate Harbaugh, but by God, I told you before the season started, the Harbaugh effect is really, really real. And in this first season, just like he did with the San Francisco 49ers, way back when, with a roster that was basically ready to win, even though other coaches couldn't put it together, he has put it together. And quietly at 6-3, this Chargers team is wreck smashing people. And folks, Cincinnati, though I gave you Zach Taylor, I've been very hard on you all year. Man, like, I give you all the respect for going for 2 in that game against the Ravens at the end of the game. That is 1,000% the right way to go, especially with the way those offenses are going. Like, you got to go for 2. It's the right move. I don't care what anyone else says. So I give you all your flowers for that. But besides that, your defense is dog shit. And I don't think the Chargers are going to give you enough possessions to do what you do against the Ravens, because the Ravens are a quick score team. The Chargers are not. The Chargers are a 15 play, 16 play, 17 play drive team where they just grind you down. And with the defense that you have, they're going to be able to do that to you. So Joe Burrow wasn't going to have the time. And also, this defense is way better than the Ravens defense. I know that sounds dirty and disgusting to say, but the Chargers defense statistically and this year, without question, is leagues better than the Ravens defense. And I think they show that. I think Cincinnati will put up some points, but I think the Chargers put their stamp on this year, go to 7-3, and finally people start talking about them because they finally have a nationally televised game. That sounded really weird. Nationally televised game. That's all I have to say.
And we'll see what happens on Sunday Night Football.
You have a lot of games different already.
And I have a feeling this last game we're going to have the same, because it is the 6-4 Houston Texans traveling to the 3-6 Dallas Cowboys. It's the Battle of Texas. Houston is favored by 7.5 with 42-point over under, and 94% of the fan differential is on Houston. Who do you got?
Well, as the major winner in this game, I have the moon, because the sun won't be out to distract everyone in it. I joke, folks, but I have Houston. Like, what the hell? Who the hell cares in this game? This is so ridiculous. How did this game not get flexed out? Are Monday night games not allowed to be flexed?
I think last season it was the first season that they were allowed to, but I think it's only during certain weeks.
This is a ridiculous game. Monday Night Football has fallen so far from grace. I don't even watch Monday Night Football half the time. I watched Cars with my daughter the other time for Monday Night Football instead of watching Monday Night Football. But I'm taking Houston. But with a cat scratch fever lock of the week, I'll take the over of 42.5 points, because not only could Houston themselves do it by themselves, but I think this defense could be a little tired after playing the Detroit Lions last week. And maybe, I don't know, somehow whoever is going to start at quarterback, Cooper Rush or what's his name? Trey Lance. They rush for a couple times. I don't know. There'll be some points scored probably, I guess. So cat scratch fever lock over 42.5 and give me Houston Texans.
I want to see Trey Lance start just because I want to see the guy do good. I want them to be able to. I want him to be able to throw it in San Francisco's face and say, like, "Hey, I could have done what Brock Purdy did. You just didn't give me the chance."
Yeah,
But I got Houston as well, because Dallas is bad. Jerry Jones is making it worse.
Jerry Jones should fire himself. Not only should Mike McCarthy be fired, Jerry Jones should fire himself. Like, this is a complete disconnect from management and players. When your star player, Micah Parsons, is telling that your head coach should just get the F out, and your owner is going, nah, I'm keeping him. And then your star wide receiver is going, hey, man, can we get some curtains for those that were the sun's coming in? And once again, your owner's going, nah, I know what I'm talking about because I'm Jerry Jones. Like, It's bad. I can't believe. I'm sorry for all you Cowboy fans out there. Like, it's you guys once again, like Indy fans, and Cowboy fans, like, and you just have bad owners. It sucks. That like sucks. I mean, I know that Robert Kraft got some massages and such, but at least he'll spend some money on the team.
Yeah, that's why I like the fans are the owners, because you can't keep track of all the bad things that we do.
No, it's true.
Yeah. This week I feel like is slated better than last week. Matchups are better. Last week was weird.
Weird.
Like I said, I'm really excited for the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Yeah. Just wish there were more late afternoon games. That's all. Pretty soon, we got to be getting close to having no more buys. Get back to.
We still have 3 more weeks of buys, man. They go to week 14.
Well, I mean, that's pretty soon still.
Well, we're getting close.
So, I mean, isn't there still a week in there where there is no buys?
No, I think we already had all of
7.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I can't wait till the 16-game slate. Yeah. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, they are having a drag of the end of the show right here. Final thoughts? No. This is, I think, a slightly better slate than last week, but besides the real top end games, I think the middling games all kind of suck, which leads to probably another boring week of football. But I think we're getting into the good stuff. I do think teams are starting to separate themselves a little bit. Like I know who the top tier is, but below that, I really hope this week maybe we get some more answers.
Well, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we upload videos. What should they comment this week, Chad?
You better comment on the birthday. A very happy birthday to my 11-year-old French bulldog, and also our friend's kid, Riley.
You didn't even say Zeus's name.
Zeus! They should know it by now.
I know, but still. You got to give him the credit, man. You can't,
Yeah, I got to give him his flowers.
If he was down there with you, he'd be so upset that you did not say his name.
No, he's upstairs sleeping with my wife.
What did he just say?
Wow. That took a weird turn. But
I said it that way intentionally. God.
And I only have heard it, and so they gave me I'm like, who are we talking about again? And then I remember it was your dog. So yeah. Well, anyways, that's about all I got for this week. Let's watch some football.
Bye, everyone.
This has been a Visionaries Global Media production. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.